Hi, traders, and welcome to the weekly market review. I'm your host, Paul. This is where I use wave analysis to look at the markets to see where the next waves will be. In this video, we'll look at the S&P, the Nasdaq, some select stocks, and Bitcoin. So let's get started. And we'll start with the upcoming economic calendar and very impactful week this week. So as I said last week, I think for the foreseeable future anyway, the data points coming out are going to be magnified like they have not been in some time, and they've been magnified actually, but the magnification is going to get a lot stronger now. So this week we got inflation data coming out, which is going to be huge. So on Tuesday you got PPI, and Wednesday you got inflation, core inflation, and the inflation rate. And then also on Thursday you got retail sales. So those 3 points are just going to be massive to the market. And then on Friday, you got some housing data and you got consumer sentiment. So very impactful week. Obviously, these two, the PPI and inflation, will be, I think, just critical for bulls and bears. So as it stands right now, PPI is actually supposed to decrease from 0.2 down to 0.1. So that would obviously give the boost to the market. And then core inflation is supposed to tick up a tenth month over month. On the yearly, though, it's supposed to go from 3.3 down to 3.2. And the inflation is supposed to tick up 0.3%. So that's a substantial increase. But then again, yearly goes from 3 down to 2.9. So yeah, it'll be just interesting to see what the numbers come out to be and how the market reacts to those numbers. Retail sales is supposed to go from zero, slight tick, 0.3% up. So I think that would actually be enough just to make people feel better, because retail sales has been decreasing for a while. So be ready. I think this will be another very volatile week coming up. All right, let's get on to the charts, see what's going on. We'll start with the S&P. This is the futures contract, the continuous contract. And it looks to me like the S&P, we've got either an A and a B, or it could be a 1 and a 2 because of what happened on Friday. So I'm going to have to zoom in here. Let's go down to a 30-minute. So when I was watching this, saw this up move, sharp decline on Wednesday. And then they gave this 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then it started to drop again. So I thought this might be like an A, B, and a C, and then we should get a much bigger correction if they're going to go back up. But all they gave was just this little drop, and then it went back up. So this could be one of two things. It's possible that they're creating like a triangle. It'd be a weird location for a triangle though. Like that's A, B, C, D, and then you're going to come down 3 waves, make an expanding triangle, and then go back up. If they do that, the only pattern I can see is that this will be a running flat then. And then this will be, oops, wrong one. This would have to be like 1. And then this is A, and then this is all going to be a B wave. Get a sharp sell-off for C, and then back up. That would be the only pattern if this is a triangle. So if this sells off, literally it's going to have to sell off from where it is right now. and come and most likely break that low, 53.19, or at least get very, very close. So that we have that expanding triangle look. So that would be the look, something like that. Because then this is all very corrective then, because then this would be like an A, a B, and a C. And so then I think that that would be A, all this would be B, and then you'll get the sharp sell-off, but then still more up. And then we'll have to see, is this just a bigger A, B, C, and be right in this red zone, sell zone? That's one pattern. The other pattern is actually a very, very bullish, that this was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now they're going to make a running flat here. And this is the A wave, and either this is the B wave, or they're still in the process of completing the B, and then you're going to get a sharp sell, but a smaller one, and then up. And then that could be like a sign that this is ready to really take off, because then I'd be looking at this probably like this is a 1 and not an A. That's 2, and then they're making the third wave, and this up to here, that would be 1, this would be 2, they'll be going up for 3, a 4, and a 5. Now it's possible that that still could be A, B, and a big C wave, but then that would be having some serious strength. I feel like it'd be getting impulsive, and so then I think that'd be 1, 2, 3 up to here. You get a 4, but then you're still going back up for 5. So those are the patterns that I see, and everything tells me that there's at least some more up. So even if they sell off, I still see that they have to go back up at least one more time. So yeah, next week's gonna be really interesting to see if the low is in. It's in this purple zone that I've had, but we're coming right into a resistance area. So yeah, I'm favoring still more up. Just have to be able to count these waves to see what the pattern is. Because if this is 1 and 2, yeah, then the ES has a lot more up. But either way, this pattern up here, it's not complete. I mean, it's just not complete yet. So they're going to do something, either come down for that triangle, or they're really going to start to be impulsing up here. And then when we look at the Nasdaq, it's a similar pattern, but a little different. Where on the Nasdaq they made this leading diagonal. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then here's an A, B, C correction for B. Well, I labeled it as B, but just like the S&P, we've got this 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, and then they just gave this one drop, and then they went back up too. So the pattern up here on both of them, Nasdaq and S&P, is the same. It's not complete, and I'm not sure if this is going to be a triangle, and so they'll have to come down one more time before they take off. And then I'd be looking for a very big. See, on this one though, this isn't going to be a running flat. So yeah, this is really interesting. So to me, this almost looks like this is going to have to be a little running flat here, which would be, I think, extremely bullish for the Nasdaq and the S&P if they're going to do this kind of a pattern. Because then I think instead of A, B, and C, I think this is then going to be 1 and 2, and then this is going to be like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that'll be the third wave. 1, 2, and this will all be 3. And then just like on the S&P, you'll get a 4, and then you're still going up for 5. So I'm favoring much more upside on the market now, just because of this drop and then this 3-wave up to break that high. It doesn't look like this is like an ABC. First of all, it doesn't. The pattern is not complete, whatever it's going to be. So, but I'd be favoring up, and if this is a running flat, then this isn't an ABC, and I'll be taking it off. For right now, I'm just going to leave it until I can see what this pattern is, because this very well could be 1 and 2, and it's going to start to impulse up now. So I have a heavy bias now towards more up because of what they did here on Friday. So let's see if that plays out. If anything big changes, I'll do an update, because I can't see a bullish pattern for right now. So we'll see. All right, let's move on to the stocks. We're going to take a quick look at AMD. And one of the things that I'm seeing in a lot of the stocks is it's a very almost like a similar pattern, that everything looks like it's got more up. So, AMD had the Monday crash, exploded up, and then they gave this 1, 2, 3 wave, perfect correction. And so I'd only be looking for buy setups, and it's actually in a pretty decent place already. If you're not already in, like this would have been actually perfect right here. If anyone caught that, then you did great in the 128 to 130 range. Because it's either A and B or it's 1 and 2. And because they did this, like a 1 and a 2 here, it's very looking like it could be very impulsive. Now, if they come and break 128.42 again, then I'd want to be out, because then this isn't doing what I'm thinking. Then somehow this explosion up was just like some type of correction, which I really don't see. It's very, very impulsive, but it did get into this purple zone, 137 to 46. And then it looks like maybe this 1, 2, 3 waves down was actually like the start of a diagonal, and that's 1. And then somehow that's 2. Or maybe they go back up one more time to complete 2, and then they start to come down for 3, 4, and then 5. So yeah, 128.42 is a very important level. I'd want to be out, because I don't see what the pattern is then to go up. But as it stands right now, this looks really good, because this, like I said, that could very well be 1 and 2, and now they're in the process of completing the third wave, and so this will be like 1 and 2, and then this also looks like a 1, 2, 3. No, it's not a 4, because they came into the price. But I mean, this itself could be another 1, 2. So like price will have to literally reverse from where it is right now, unless they're just making a bigger correction, and then it's going to go up. But yeah, any buy in this range, because you have a really good stop loss right there, so it'd be a very small loss. So buying anywhere in here, because I think this is all going to be the third wave, and you have, I think, what did I say, from like right here, the target is 7% up. But if this gets really impulsive, I think it's going to blow right through this target zone up here, like 143 to 145. That's 7-8% right there. But if this is an impulse, I think just the third wave alone will reach this. And you get a correction at some point for 4, and then you go back up for 5. Then if you get that, then any correction, that's an automatic buy because then it's obviously going back up. So AMD looks really good. I like this one a lot. Let's move on. Going to move on to Coinbase. This was brought up by one of the Discord members, Julian. I have to give him a shout out for this. This asked me to look at this one, and this one too looks really interesting. So you had that strong, like almost everything, strong push up, and then you had a 3-wave correction, and now it's just kind of meandering up. But it could be just a whole bunch of little nesting of like 1, 2, and 1, 2s. So, like if it's going up, I think this is going to be a diagonal because that first wave, it looked like 3 waves. And then this could be an expanding flat so that'd be 1. This would be 2. Then it'll be going up for 3, 4, and 5. So it'll be choppy because of the diagonal. But it's just going to keep going up. Now, I don't see like how this could be 5 ways. So I don't see this being like A, B, and they almost broke the high. Like that could be a C wave. I don't see that because this is all nesting. I don't see any 5-wave pattern in here. So Coinbase looks really good to me. Now, obviously, if they come down, take out 177, then I'd be wanting to get out because this is not doing what I think it's doing. So, and actually, any strong sell would kind of invalidate what I think is just a whole bunch of little nesting waves that they're doing, getting ready to take off here. So Coinbase, I think that one looks really good. All right, quick look at NVidia. All right, so NVIDIA blasted off just like everything, came right down to the 618 retracement, and then a strong bounce up. So again, this is either A and B or 1 and 2, and then NVIDIA's got a lot more up, because it's got to go break 108, even if this is just going to be an ABC and then it reverses. But it should be, this one I think could be also doing like a 1. This one probably has to drop one more time, give like an A, B, C. And if it does drop, let's say to like 101 or something, and 100, I think that's a great place to be buying. Because if they do come, well, I guess they could come and break that 97 level and just make a bigger correction. I probably would think about having like a stop loss somewhere down around 97. Because you just don't want to get caught if this is going to like sell off for some reason. Could be a big ABC, but I'd be playing for it to correct down one more time and then for it to take off. And then if it does that, then NVIDIA's got a lot more, because then this is looking very much like 1, 2, and then this is going to be 1, 2, you get a 3, 4, and a 5, and that's a third wave correction for 4, and then still back up for 5. And then you got your impulse. So NVIDIA looks really good, but I think you can get it like 100, 101. That's where I'd be buying. And then you can have a stop loss somewhere around 97. I wouldn't want it to go any farther than lower than that. But yeah, and I think NVIDIA looks good because this was obviously very impulsive. So price should be going pretty darn close to 108 at least. If it makes the impulse, then you're in a really great trade. All right, let's move on. It's going to take a quick look at Tesla. Tesla 2, if it's going up, it's going to be going up in a diagonal because you have a clear 1, 2, 3 waves, and then 1, 2, 3 waves. Then you have this 1 and 2, and now this one, they got 1, 2, 3, 4. So if they go up and break this 289, like literally, like when Monday opens up, then you have 5 waves to there. Now you're starting to get a lot of impulsive look. But again, just like everything, if they break 191, then I'd want to be getting out. Because after this 5-wave move, you'll get a correction. So we'll have a 5-wave move up somewhere. And then any correction, and I'd be looking to buy, because you know where your stop loss has to be. Because then this could be like, that's 1, that's 2, and then this is like doing like a big impulse. Either this is the A and the B, and now they're going up for a strong C wave, or this is 1, 2, and then this will be 1, 2, like a 3, 4, and a 5, something like that. But there's going to be a lot more upside to go. And then if it can break this 216 level, then Tesla all of a sudden looks like it's got a lot more up to go. Still going to be, this is still a potential reversal area if they're going to make a shallow correction in Tesla. So we don't know yet. I mean, this could just, like I said, just be an A and a B, and now they're going to make a C wave up, and then it's going to reverse hard. But yeah, the higher this thing goes, especially if it can break 216, Tesla actually looks pretty strong. But they should be going up to break this 203.85 at a minimum. Just depends on what the pattern is. All right, let's move on to Bitcoin. All right, so Bitcoin, all it did off the 49K low, make this ABC. And now this is getting has a very corrective look. I mean, it's just very, very tight range, just hovering in this 60 to 61,000 for a long time. There is just this 1, 2, and 3 waves down. And it came right, almost touched this purple zone that I have, 59,520. I think that's just the first wave of a correction. So ABC. So if it's going to go up, it's going up in a diagonal. So I would think like this was just the A wave. This could be the B wave, and now it's going to come down in a sharp movement. So maybe like this is 1, 2, get a 3, 4, and a 5-wave move down, and that'll be the C. And then Bitcoin would be in a position to go back up. Now, if it's going to go up in a diagonal, be better for it to actually come down into this zone. That's a proper zone. So like if this is ABC and that was 1, you don't want to see the 2 down in this 54, 55 range. Yeah, 56 range. That'd be better. So, I mean, this could just be a much bigger correction. It's going to be like ABC and then ABC and then down before it goes. Because look how long this took. So this correction for 2 probably will take some time. And price will just kind of be drifting down, bouncing up, and then still one more down. If it goes up from this purple zone, then I'd have a bearish bias. Because then I think price will do something like this. Like this ABC was probably just an A. This was a shallow B down into this range. it'll come up and break 62,755 one more time. But then this could just be overall a big A, B, C correction. And then potential for coming all the way down is much bigger. We'll have to see the reaction. Could be just a bigger ABC, and that actually this is 1 instead of this being 1. So we'll see. But yeah, if it rejects from here, if you buy here, then I think it has to be just a short-term trade to go break this top. Because at any point, this could sell off and at least make a much bigger correction and get below where you entered. Or it could be total downside to go break the low. So yeah, if you're going to get in here, it then has to be a short-term trade, I think. All right, that's what I see on the markets. Hope it helps. Good luck to you all. Thanks for your likes and support, and I'll see you in the next video.